In order to find the surface area of a cylinder, first we got to know what circumference is. Because the formula says that it's circumference times height, right? So here is how we get circumference. Look on your yellow sheets, and you'll see a formula for circumference. Circumference, and there's two of them there. One of them says, what's the first one?
C equals 2 pi r. 2
pi r. This is the one I prefer to use, and the reason being is because everything else we've done is with radius, right? The other formula is also circumference equals pi times d, which is 2r. However, we're not really using diameter for anything, are we? So using diameter from this right now might lead you to mistakenly using diameter in the future. Does that make sense? So we want this. So our formula says the lateral area. The lateral area is all this, right? The lateral area is circumference times height.
Wait, there's no square or anything?
Nope.
That's for...
Are you sad about that? So, first of all, we're going to have to determine the circumference of the circle. And the way we do that is we do 2 pi times r, and that will get us the circumference, which actually gives us the length of this rectangle, doesn't it? So let's do this one real quick. So if it's 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times radius, which is 4, what is the circumference?
What is that? A 30?
2 times 3.14 times 4. I'm sorry if my...
Yeah, it was a little sloppy.
It is sloppy. I apologize. I will get less sloppy.
Thank you.
I don't know how to write sloppy.
For our viewers, I apologize for my sloppiness.
Oh,
I write
right, you're
sloppy every day.
I am.
Except
Shh.
for...
Shoot quietly.
Can I have
If
some?
you can't do it with your mouth closed, then don't do it. What you get?
25.12.
25.12 inches. So what I did was I really just determined the length. If you think about it, if you peel a can apart, you really get a long rectangle, don't you? So this is called the lateral area, and the total surface area would include the lateral area plus the two bases. How do you find the area of a circle? What's the area of a circle? Hint, yellow sheet. You don't have to memorize it.
I was about to get that. I'm not very sorry today.
The area?
Area of a circle.
Pi r
A
squared.
equals pi r squared.
So literally, to get the area here for these two, it would be 2 times pi r squared, right? Because there's two circles. Does that make sense? All right, so let's go to these two problems. I've got just that. Let's start with one. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw me my net.
I thought you said there was no squares.
Not in lateral. Draw your net first thing.
Please sharpen my pencil.
Yep. So when I draw this net, what is the height of the can? What's the height of the can, Joshua?
13.
13 centimeters, right? And what's the radius of the circle? Trayson, what's the radius?
The radius is 6.
6 centimeters. Good. Now I've got it. Now, to find the lateral area, if you go up here, it equals circumference times height. You guys saw that, right?
Yeah.
What's the formula for circumference? Peyton, what's the formula to get circumference? It's on your yellow sheet.
Circumference for what?
For a circle. There's only one that has circumference. Circumference of a circle.
Does it just say circle?
It says circumference, circle.
Circumference. 2.
No, it doesn't.
But on the black line, there's like one couple black lines.
I honestly don't.
So 2
Oh, I see it.
pi r times height. That's our final formula, right?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am?
Why did you put 12 and 13?
Yeah, I put 13. It's just very close. So let's put these in. It's 2 times 3.14 times 6 times 13. That's 2. That's what we got there. 3.14 is our pi, 6 is our radius, and 13 is our height. Go ahead and calculate that.
Wait, so we got all this.
Yes, Tracy. Okay, let them find it first. No, Tracy's just getting it.
He's just smarter than us.
No, Tracy's kicking Tushy.
Yeah,
He's been doing really well lately. Trayson has gone from slow speed to high speed.
It's not a 6.
This class helps.
Yeah.
I like this class.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Joshua, what'd you get?
489.84.
Say it again.
489.84.
489.84. And they didn't tell us to round at all. So I'm not rounding. It's centimeters squared. Anytime it's area, it's always whatever unit squared. So now I need the total surface area. And the total surface area is the lateral plus 2 times the area of the base. 2 times big B. Right? Well, so lateral area, what do we know it is?
489.
Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Lateral plus 2 times, what's the area of a circle? What's the area of a circle? What's the formula? What's the formula for the area of a circle? Yellow sheet.
I know it. No, it's
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared. So 2 times pi r squared. So now I'm going to fill in the parts I know here. So L, we know what that is. That's 489.84. Right? I'm just borrowing that from what we always solved. Everyone follow me so far? Moving too fast?
Me either.
Okay, talk to me. Ask questions.
You just.
You got to ask questions. I tried mind reading, I failed. So I bought her flowers.
What do you mean
It means I've been married for a long time, and when I try and figure out what my wife wants, I usually fail. So I just buy her flowers. No, it's a joke. So, plus 2 times what's pi? 3.14 times the radius, which is 6 squared. All right, so type all that in, and we'll get the total surface area.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Just be careful when you're typing it in.
I don't.
Which part?
I don't get it because I don't get all the wording honestly. Yeah, neither do I.
Okay, so the first thing we did was we found the lateral area. The lateral area is the side of the can. It's the side of the cylinder. So that was what we did up here. And we did that by finding the circumference, which actually gives us the length from here to here. You buy that? Times the height, which is 13 in this case. We found the circumference by using our chart, and we know that the circumference equals 2 pi r.
Yeah, the answer.
So the total surface area, we got to add back in the top and the bottom, or the bases. So what did you get, Peyton?
110742.
110. No, I'm thinking there's a problem here.
I got 600.
Trayson, what'd you get?
715.92 centimeters.
How's that crap?
Why did I get 602?
Well, let's look at what you
times
did.
instead of add. That's funny. Yeah, that's hilarious. Shut up. Not if I want to put them right back in. My earrings are bothering the heck out of me. Hey, I might be moving.
Cool.
No. Did you just say cool?
Just cool.
No, I said cool to him.
Yeah, he was.
I might be moving.
Bryson just taught me something I hadn't been able to figure out yet.
What?
How to copy stuff. Okay,
And like
so let's look at 2. What's the first thing we want to do? Elena, what's the first thing I want to do in number 2?
You want to draw your picture?
Let's draw a net. My net doesn't have to be pretty, and you'll notice all my nets look exactly the same, don't they?
Yeah, did you correct this?
If I give it back to you, yes, you still have some outstanding ones.
What? Correct.
So, always my nets look exactly the same because they're functional. What's the height on this net? 5. And what is the radius on this net? Why you say 3.5 instead of 7?
7's the diameter.
Very good, Bryson. 7's the diameter, so it's 3.5. 5 and 3.5. So let's find lateral. What's the formula for lateral? What's the formula for lateral surface area? What is it? Circumference times height. And we know that circumference of a circle is what? What's the formula? Well, 2 times pi times the radius, and then we throw back on the height. So let's get our parts. Elena, you following so far?
Yes.
Okay. So 2 is pretty easy. We know what pi is 3.14. What's the radius? 3.5. And Peyton, what's the height?
5.
5. It was good whoever whispered to you.
Bryson.
Okay, so plug these into your calculator.
Is it 3.5? Do I have to
3.5.
put all the LCMs?
No, you just plug this part. Remember, we're writing the formula, and what I'm doing is as I go, I'm breaking the formula down until I get to the point where I can enter just straight numbers.
Is that a 3.5?
3.5, that's what we have for our radius,
Times 5? Isn't it?
times 5. That's our height.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Elena?
I don't know.
Did you type it in?
No.
Travis, what'd you get?
109.9.
109.9 feet
Or feet squared.
squared. So the next we need to do is find the total surface area. What's the formula for total surface area? Peyton, what's the formula for total surface area? We'll look on the yellow sheet. L plus 2 times big B. Peyton, you're throwing your voice well. You sound just like Bryson.
I wish I had his voice.
So lateral plus, what is the area of the base? We're dealing with a circle, right? So what's the area of a circle? Area of a circle, what does it equal? Peyton, try this one.
What?
Area of a circle.
Did I just say the number?
No, look at your formula. What's the formula for the area of a circle?
Shut up. A
Area.
equals pi r squared.
Good. So we've got 2 times pi r squared. Well, we know what lateral is, right? We figured it out. It is 109.9 plus 2 times pi, which we know is 3.14, times radius squared. And the radius is 3.5. So 3.5 squared.
What is that 2 times
2 times 3.14 times 3.5 squared. Because we have 2 circles. We have one base on the top and one base on the bottom.
3.5 squared?
3.5 squared. That's our height.
Yes.
What'd you get, Peyton?
I got 150.
What? What is it?
186.
I got this.
186.83 in feet squared. I'm gonna come look at your feet.
I did something.
Gosh, Tracy.
Did I add?
Yes. Instead of multiplying 2 times 3.14, you add 3. All right, one last problem. It's our word problem.
Yeah. Wait, I'm not done.
Okay, we'll finish.
Always on.
Isn't it? All the problems on the STAR test are going to be word problems.
Is that a 6 or a 4?
Where? Right here?
Yeah.
That's a 6?
That's a 6.
What are you looking at?
So, let's look at this. Let's look at the problem and read it. How many square inches of cardboard are needed for the lateral area, and that's important, it's lateral area, right, of the raisin container? Round your answers to the nearest tenth. Use 3.14 for pi. What's the first step in doing this? Joshua, what's my first step?
You draw your net.
Joshua, you're throwing your voice extremely well, and you sound like girls.
And 2 of them.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I mean, he threw his voice as 2 girls. So first thing we do is we draw our net. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be functional. And we label our parts.
Might not be pretty, but it's functional.
So what's the height of the container? What's the height of the container?
5.
5 inches. And what's the radius?
2.
2 inches. Okay, so lateral area equals, what's the formula for lateral area? Look at your yellow sheet. Jason, what's the formula for lateral area?
For what? Where does it say lateral?
We're in a cylinder. Lateral area of a cylinder.
Circumference h equals
Okay.
2
He knows
pi
what that is.
or h.
No, that's, we just want the lateral area, which is the first one.
Okay.
So, how do we get the formula for circumference of a circle?
2 pi or h.
2 pi r, and that was it, plus you added the h. Okay, so we know it's 2. 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times the radius. What's our radius? 2. Times our height. What's our height? 5. And we only want the lateral area, so life's golden. We just got to solve this one. So 2 times 3.14 times 2 times 5. Plug it in. Try and be faster than Joshua. Oh, Joshua, he's already faster than you. He cheated. He did it at a time.
I just know.
I was faster than Josh, and I did.
Done.
Josh says it's so good.
Hey,
You're rude. You need to get your chair taken away.
Not the brain, I like that.
I have a moving thing that I can't. No, I can't see it at all now. Bryson, what'd you get?
62.8.
62.8 square inches, right?
Oh, I did it wrong.
So
There's no way you could do it wrong. I know why I did.
that's because you forgot. You did it times 2.5 instead of times 2 times 5. Okay.
That's great. That's a good.
So the trick is draw the net. Use the formulas on the sheet. You'll use them all the time. You don't have to memorize them. Save that for something else like funny YouTube videos.